Hey you guys, it's Kristen and welcome back to the Gold Project. In today's video, I am just going to sit down and talk with you guys. I know that, Okay, and it's hot in here, so I'm going to try not to sweat as I film this video because, of course, you guys know I film in my daughter's room because she has the best lighting. She's in the front of the house and the light's better in the front of the house. But her fan is messed up, so if I was to turn the fan on, it would be so loud and go, so I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to sit here and sweat in front of my Diva ring light while I talk to you and hope you can't see like sweat dripping down my face. So today what I'm going to do is I am going to just chat with you about budgeting. Basically, I want to tell you my story, where I'm coming from, how I am able to start paying off debt, and I just want you guys to kind of understand where I'm coming from. This is the first time that my husband and I have ever felt like that we could do this since our 11 years of marriage. I know it seems discouraging because I've been there. I've heard people talk about Dave Ramsey. I've heard people talk about paying off debt. And I'm like, how can you pay off debt when you have no money to pay off the debt with? So I've been there. I understand what a lot of you are talking about. You're living paycheck to paycheck. And I just want to answer some questions and tell you kind of where I am coming from. And so that you know that, we're going to tackle the elephant in the room, for a better word, because both my husband and I are teachers, and you might be going, how in the heck do two teachers able to pay off some debt? So I'm fixing to break it down for you and tell you my story, where we came from, and where we're going from here. And before I start talking, you guys, I have written down, oh Lord, if I don't drop it on. I have written down some little notes to kind of keep me on task, because this is what happens. I start talking and then I go off on some kind of rant about something and then I forget where in the world I started. So I've got myself some little notes here to kind of keep myself on track and to make sure that I answer everything. So is my lighting good? So we are going to go back and I am going to give you our journey to where we are now. Before my husband and I moved where we are now, we lived in our hometown. We both worked there, and it had gotten really hard to go month to month with the pay that we were receiving. So I'm here to tell you, if somebody tells you that, oh, you don't teach for the money, it's about the kids, I'm calling crap on that, because here's the thing. Yes, it's about the kids. It's about my kids first. It is about my kids first. If I feel like that I'm not making the amount of money that I need to clothe my kids, to feed my kids, and to give them any extra things that they might need, it doesn't matter. My kids come first. So, retirement alone was taking, I think it was 13% of our paycheck every single month. The insurance was out of this world. We could not afford, I'll put it this way. That school district, we had it to where my husband and I were through the school's insurance. Derek had his own policy. Kate had her own policy, because it was too expensive for all four of us to be on school's insurance. That is pathetic. I'm just going to tell you, it is ridiculous that you both work in the same school district and you cannot afford for your two kids to be on your policy. So that in itself was taking a toll on us. The retirement, and you guys, we just were not making a lot of money. I mean, let's be honest. Yes, we left our hometown because of money. We needed to, and y'all, here's the thing. And anybody that is sitting here watching this video that lives in my hometown, My husband and I did not live extravagantly. People may have thought that we did, but we did not. This is maybe the thing, well, you built a house. Yes, we built a house because it was cheaper for us to build a house than it was to purchase an already built house or rent a house where we were living. We did all the math, we sat down, we calculated it, and it was best for us to build a house. Yes, we had one vehicle. We had one vehicle. Thankfully, our school was down the road. So my husband sometimes would walk to football practice, and he was the head football coach. He would walk to practice, or we would somehow have to shuffle that one vehicle to get us to and from. And my car was paid off. So we could not afford two vehicles. My car was paid off. You guys, we weren't living. I was not going out buying, purses and all of this unnecessary things. I did not start this YouTube channel until I moved, because there's no way that I could even bought a camera to even start a channel, because we did not have that income to help us. So, and here's the thing. Yes, I have my mom and my husband's mom would have helped us. But my husband and I are very independent people, and we don't feel it was our mother's responsibility to take care of us. We were married. We had 2 kids. It was our responsibility to feed and take care of our family. So we could have taken the easy way out and asked for help and still lived there, but that's not what we are about. That's not what we want to teach our kids. I don't want my kids to be the type where, you know what? I don't have money to buy this $500 purse, but I'm going to ask my mom, so I'm going to have it. No, that's not what we're teaching. That's not what we are about. So we wanted to do it ourselves. So we had to move. And here's another thing about it. And how does this relate to budgeting? Because you guys, 5 years ago, I would have not been able to do budgeting videos and all that, because we were living paycheck to paycheck. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck, kind of, but there was no cushion at all. We had like 0 savings, nothing at all. It was not good. I remember at the very end, we sat down like probably 2 months before we got the opportunity to move, and me in tears, because we only got paid once a month. So I was like, how in the world are we going to be able to make it until this time next month on the amount of money that we have? So at times, like if doctors came up, we had to put it on the credit card, because we didn't know what else to do. When you don't have enough money to make the emergency fund and all that, what are you supposed to do? And you might wonder, how in the world did we buy Christmas presents? How my husband got paid was, up until it was fixing to be that current year, he got paid, it was not part of his salary. He got paid twice for football. He would get paid before school started, was half of his paycheck, and then it was after football season he got his second half. So he didn't get his second half until all of his inventory was done, that nothing was missing, and all of that. Which, that check that we got at the beginning before school started was what I used to pay for Christmas presents. So that was just set aside for Christmas presents. That's how we afforded our Christmas presents. Well, that next year it was going to get to where he didn't get anything up front. All of his checks. So he's going to be working all of those months. And my husband is hardcore football. He is 24 hours a day. You know, the hamster is always running in his brain about football, because that's just his thing. So, I mean, he was going to work all those months for no pay until after he was finished with his job. So I was in freak out mode going, how in the world are we going to buy Christmas presents? That was my Christmas money. So thankfully, this job came up and we decided to move. It was more pay. Yes, my husband was going from a head coach to an assistant, but we were trying to look in the road ahead. Our pay was a little bit more. The retirement, they didn't take as much out of our retirement. The retirement system in Arkansas is built differently than it is in Missouri. So we didn't pay as much in retirement. Plus, our electricity and all of that, all of our bills went down. I mean, it was ridiculous. We've moved to a bigger city, a bigger town, and our bills went down. So, I mean, that was a nice pay jump right there, just not having to foot all of those expensive bills. So that is how we have been. So, but still, up until right now, we still haven't been able to start the debt snowball and try to get some of our debt paid off, because we were trying to catch up from all of those years of being with so little pay, I would say. And I'm not going to go into numbers because numbers are not important. I could tell you what my house payment is right now in this house, and here's what I've learned about that. It means nothing, because my house somewhere else may be more expensive. My house somewhere else might be less expensive. So the number's really not going to matter much. I will tell you this too. Our house payment, we bought this house. Our house payment here is $50 less than what we were paying in the other town. And this house is a lot bigger than the one that we had built in our hometown. So everything that we have now, it's gone down in price. So it's cut and we pay a lot less than we did there. So that is where we are. We have not always been able to do this. This is a current thing that we are trying to do for ourselves. So I just kind of wanted to give you a backstory before I talked about anything else. Okay, so how, like, debt snowball type thing, how are we able to have the extra income to start the snowball and all of that? I will tell you the big thing that we do that has helped us a lot in the past year. Derek is not in daycare anymore, so we still account for his daycare money. So even though he's been in school, the amount per paycheck that we were paying to daycare now goes to something else. So everything that we pay off still goes to something else. It still gets put on the ledger like we are paying it. So right now, what that money is going to is cheer and taekwondo for Derek. So what we do is I have a separate ledger for like extracurricular activities. And that money, every paycheck, plus the allotment that I have for cheer and taekwondo, goes into a separate ledger. So every paycheck, I would say, okay, daycare, I was paying this amount, now it's going to go to cheer. So when something gets paid, it still stays on there. The money just gets shifted around to something else. So that is how we're able to pay for Kate's cheer and taekwondo and all of that, because we use what was Derek's daycare money. Daycare is expensive. So that money goes to help for that. And I can tell you right now that doing that, we have all of Kate's cheer expenses paid for, all of her practice wear, her choreography, her music, her shoes, her camps, all of that is paid for. So now all we're going to do, so you might wonder, well, why are you still keeping that in the ledger? Because she has to pay monthly fees. Derek has to pay monthly fees, and then we are hoping, us keeping that money in that ledger, by the time we have to make all of these trips like to Dallas and all that, we've got the money in there to pay for it. So it's kind of like we're doing a little savings account here without putting it in the savings account. So it's going to help us for those trips. So next thing, let's see, I've got all these down here. Next thing, yes, I still buy things. I'm sure somebody's wondering, well, did you just completely stop buying yourself things? No, I don't. Anything that I make for this channel, affiliate links, any money I make off YouTube and all of that goes in a separate ledger. That is what I use to buy planner stickers, anything from Erin Condren, because all of those things go with this brand. Equipment, I need to buy a new battery for this camera because I need a backup. Like, this camera is going to die before I get this video filmed. So all of that goes into that brand ledger, and I buy all the stickers, I buy all of my kits, I buy anything that you see planner related is coming from the money I make off this channel. No, I can't just go out and buy anything that I want to, like some of you might think that I can. No, I don't do that. And also, if I want to purchase something, I usually sell something to purchase it. For instance, just the other day, the May Mickey Memories plush came up for sale on Facebook. I immediately was like, I want that. So I purchased it, but what that meant was I needed to go and sell something to be able to pay for that Mickey plush. So I sold some washi tape. I had somehow purchased duplicates, sold that to cover the Mickey plush. That's usually how I do it. If there's something I don't need, clothing I don't need, I will sell it in order to purchase something else. Now, if it's something that's very expensive, it normally gets written on a Christmas list. That's normally not something that I purchase myself, unless I save up for it to buy that, to do that. So yes, I still buy myself things because you still got to live your life. Now, next question I have been asked is, what happens if you're in the middle of this debt snowball and something pops up? Well, you guys, it's not set in stone. If there is 1 month that extra, right now it's $280. If there's something that we need that $280 for, let's say if, you know, one of our tires pops and we need a new tire, or the kids get sick, something like that, then of course we're not going to stick to that for that month, and that money will go to help pay for whatever we need it to pay for. It's not set in stone. This is something that fluctuates, but it is a plan. And a plan, you have to have a plan and some goals in order to go somewhere. So it can, if something pops up, we will do that. Now, you might be wondering, where is the money for Christmas presents? Now, all of that I will address in 2 videos. Kate's going to sit down with me and do a kids management video next, and then the next one will be my Christmas budgeting. So I'm not going to talk about any Christmas things in this one because I am going to address all of those questions in that video. So, I kind of talked about how we afford extras. Everything that goes off of the paycheck, like daycare, gets put somewhere and spent somewhere else. So we do a lot for that. Now, you might wonder, how in the world are you going to be able to tackle this debt quickly? Okay, this is what we are going to do. My husband has now become the head football coach, which means his contract days increase. So he's going to be working full-time now instead of like a teacher like me. So he has to work during the summer, and he gets accumulated vacation days and all of that. So with that, he is going to get a pay raise, and he is also almost finishing his master's degree in athletic administration. So he got a pay bump this year for being head coach, for getting an increased contract, and for his master's degree. He got 24 plus hours, and then next year he just has to finish a test. He has to do a test, and then he'll get his full master's pay after this school year. So what we are going to do is, the difference in the pay that he's making now versus the pay that he used to make, the difference is going to go to our snowball. So we've got $280 on the 10th, and then we'll add to that whatever extra he is getting paid a paycheck. So we are going to live like he's still making the other amount. That is how we're going to tackle it. Any raise that he gets is going to go to help pay that off. So we're going to still live like we were living last year. We're just going to throw that extra money at the debt. Let's see. So I kind of talked about cheer trips, vacation. Okay, vacation. You might wonder how we afford vacation. Why is vacation not on the budget? Because vacation is something that when we get our tax return, that is what our vacation, the money that goes towards our vacation. We use that money, a portion of it, to pay for our summer vacation. Now, here's the next thing. I have told you guys that I'm the spender. My husband is the saver, I'm the spender. I have to, there's a lot of times when we have budgeting conversations and I'm like, but I want to do this. I want to do this in the house. I want to purchase this. I want to paint the walls. I want new flooring. We could just pay $100 a month and we could be good to go. If they'll give us like 18 months free financing, then we'll be good to go. That's my current situation right now. Before we just decided to do this, I'm like, you know what? You're going to get extra money. why don't we just use a little bit of that extra money and we'll get our flooring done and we'll paint the walls? So, of course, my husband and I talked about it. He's like, Kristen, I had oral surgery. We have that to pay for. Your credit card is not paid off. And I'm like, so we can still get the flooring. I don't understand why we can't get the flooring. So sometimes, you guys, it is a battle because my brain wants to get something and he's the reasonable one going, no, we can't do that. So if you heard me talk about us doing flooring, we were going to do flooring until my husband had to get his oral surgery. So now it's put on the back burner until we get some of this debt paid off and we can save up to do that. So you guys, yes, we do kind of discuss the why can't I do, I don't understand. And I get upset and I pout and I, you know, you can see it all over my face. So yeah, there are times when I'm wanting to do something and my husband's over here going, no, we can't do that. We need to save the money to do that. Because, you know, I see extra money sometimes and I'm like, yes, let's do this. Yes, it will increase the value of our house. No, we don't have the money right now. So that's kind of put off until we get this debt paid off. And then we will start saving to do the flooring and the painting and all that because it's not going anywhere, you know. I think I just have one more thing to talk about and then that's going to be it. Now, you guys have reached out to me. If you have any questions about anything, please don't hesitate. I've had people ask me, well, how in the world am I supposed to start this debt snowball and get debt paid off? I'm living paycheck to paycheck and we've been there. Kind of like not even living paycheck to paycheck because by the end, before you get paid again, you're having to pull out the credit card and buy groceries and all those things. I've been there. I've done that. And then like, oh, well, you know what? I'll just put it on the credit card. Then when I get paid, I'll pay the credit card. We've done that. We've been there. Here's the thing. Do not put yourself in that bind. If you get a bill paid off, but you're having to if you get a bill paid off, but you're still having to use that credit card, don't go and pay a bill off. You need that money. So keep that money in your checking account. Don't start paying off debt to create more debt, if that makes sense. So it does not make any sense for you to have an extra $100 a month and you go when you get paid and you're like, yes, I have paid off this bill. I'm going to go and I'm going to pay this, let's say that you bought a laptop. I'm going to pay this to Best Buy, this $100 to get this laptop paid off. And then by the end of the month, you're having to charge the $100 on your credit card because you didn't have extra money to eat for the rest of the month. You guys, don't do that. If you have that extra $100 in your checking account and you need that to live, do not try to pay extra on your debt because you need that. Only do that if you've got the extra wiggle room to do that. It makes no sense if you go to pay a bill and then you go and charge some more. It took me a while to realize that because I was doing that. I was in that situation to where I would get paid and I'm like, oh, I got that bill paid off. I'm going to pay this towards this other bill. And then by the end of the month, I'm like, well, we need some more money to buy some groceries and we don't get paid till next week. Let me pull out the credit card. So what I was doing was not helping anything. So make sure that you have the extra income. If you don't have the extra income, don't start it. You guys, have a plan. There you go. Have a plan. It doesn't mean that the plan's going to start now, but at least kind of look at your interest. Look at how much you're paying a month. If you're paying the minimum payment, maybe you need to pay a little bit more than the minimum payment. And I will tell you this as well. Look at your bills. I mean, really look at your bills. If there is something on your bills that you can live without, cut it off. Cut it off. You guys, I will tell you that we had DirecTV and it was getting to where they called and it was going to cost like $150. I mean, we got a bill and it was going to be $150. Well, we had done all the calling and all that, and our bill was like $70 for a year. Then we'd have to call and see if they could bump it back down to $70. Well, they did it last year and they were like, no, there's no more deals that you can do. It's going to be $150. I don't need any more stinking HBO. I don't want you to put anything on my package to where I'm going to forget to call you in the next month and then you're going to charge me for that too. I don't consider that helping me at all. So my husband just said, we're done with it. We are done with DirecTV. So he cut the DirecTV off. And then we went to our local cable company here that charged, I think it was $70 a month. So you guys, instead of paying the $150, we were paying $70. So that saves us $80 right there. So if there's a way that you can cut something off that you don't necessarily need, do that. And I will tell you, with the cable, we have cable right now, but we're going to do a little trial in this fall. Because I don't watch TV. My kids usually just watch Netflix. So my husband's going to see if even keeping the cable is even worth it. Do we watch enough TV for him to keep it? So you guys, don't beat yourself up if you can't really do this. Just have a plan. Kind of get a goal together on what you want to do and go from there. Don't feel like that you have to pay something off if you don't have the money in your account. And you guys, that is all for this budgeting chat. I hope that I have kind of made sense in this video. I hope that you kind of see the story of where we were versus the story we are living now, and how we are able to do this and how we live and how we're affording extra things. I hope this has helped you. I can do another one of these videos if you want me to. If there's anything that I did not cover that you want me to cover, make sure that you leave it in the comments below, or you can send me a message on Instagram or email me. Anything that you need to ask me. You guys, I want to be transparent. Please do not feel like that you are bothering me or taking up my time if you ask me a question. I am on YouTube because I'm trying to help you guys. I don't like it when people get on YouTube and they talk about, well, y'all just make sure you communicate with me, and then they don't respond, they don't act like they care. I'm here for you. I want to help you. I'm helping myself as I'm helping you guys. So just leave any questions, comments that you might have in the comments below, and if I have enough interest, I will make another budgeting chat video. So you guys, I hope you give this video a thumbs up. I hope you click that little red subscribe button below to become a part of this YouTube community if you are not already. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and until next time, bye you guys.